Hello and welcome to a new episode of our Miami restaurant review series. My name is Brenda and I am the host, editor, and owner of all things The Whet Palette. In case you're new around here, that means I own thewhetpalette.com blog, an actual website with articles, interviews, and restaurant reviews, among other gems. I just celebrated its 10-year anniversary. In addition, you can also find accompanying content on Instagram, Twitter, X, or whatever it's called now, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube, plus, of course, this podcast. It is a lot of work and never ending, so thank you for being here and for visiting my other outlets. Please share the episodes and social media posts. Word of mouth is the best way to promote the Whet Palette. My goal? Simple. I am passionate about and love discussing the Miami food scene. I don't think there's enough of that. At least not genuine content that isn't overly curated, censored, and sponsored. The solution? I share it as I see it because I can y porque me da la gana. Okay, moving on. Had to do that recap for the new listeners. With me today, as always, for the reviews is my partner in crime, the Hubs.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, honey. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Lawrence, and I am the one that is at every restaurant with the Whet Palette waiting to eat because she's got to take pictures.
And videos. Yes.
And videos for TikTok.
For TikTok, for everything. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I can't wait to review 9 restaurants, I think it is, or something.
I think it's 8, but yeah.
Okay.
Oof. We have a lot to get to on this mega-sized episode, so dale. Up first, Mosaico. I found this gem on Instagram, go figure, bookmarked it, and then I forgot all about it. But thankfully, we finally made it in months later. When you book, if you decide you want to book after you listen to this, you have to make sure it's Mosaico by Maurizio Farinelli. Apparently, Miami has several Mosaicos, so just make sure you have the right one. The owner, Mauricio, also owns some places in South Miami in the past that you might have heard of before. Trattoria Sole, Trattoria Luna, Blue Pizzeria in South Miami, and also Coconut Grove's Strada in the Grove. He was born and raised in Torino, and his executive chef, Patricia, is from Sardinia. What led me to visit, honestly, was the photos on their food online. It's no surprise we enjoy fine dining, but the dishes here seem to have a different flair, and so we went to check it out. The entrance is small and hard to spot, so know that when you are trying to find it. We drove around a couple of times before noticing where the door was. There's a nearby parking garage as well as street parking, so that was easy. The inside is really pretty and unexpected, I thought. Although the space is small, it packs a lot of details. There's a large wood carved panel creating a walkway and drama towards the dining space. Everything is mostly in neutrals, making all the wood elements pop. There are maybe 8 to 9 tables total, maybe seating for 26 plus maybe a counter that sits an additional 8 or so. Although I didn't see the counter be super busy on the night we went. There are still things on the menu that I want to order, so we absolutely have to go back. But everything we did order was delicious, and most of it was plated nicely, and some things were things I actually have not seen in any other Miami menus. The highlights were the flan. I don't know if I'm going to butcher all these names, but...
You're starting with a dessert?
No, I'm actually not starting with a dessert. It's called the flan di carciofi e pecorino. It's an artichoke flan with a white truffle-infused aged pecorino foam and poached egg. When it arrives, it just looks like this white thing on a plate, but it's delicious because the artichoke flan, it makes up almost like a pasta. That's what it looks like. And then you cut through the foam and the poached egg oozes out. So good. We couldn't stop raving about that one. The octopus, one of the best we've tried in Miami. The agnolotti del plin, it's made in-house, Piedmontese style, stuffed with 3 meats, spinach, sage, and a demi-glace sauce. And it's something that we had in Italy. I think almost every meal we had this.
Pretty much.
In Italy. So it was nice to see it on this menu. I don't think I've ever seen it in Miami before. The risotto al limone con tartare di gamberi. It's an aquarella rice, lemon, lobster saffron infusion, and a red shrimp tartare. Very good. The cacio e pepe was great, and what I actually obsessed over was a large parm crisp that it came with. That was stellar. Do you remember any of these things that I just mentioned?
Yeah, I looked at the pictures before this. Otherwise, no, I would not have remembered any of it.
Really? At all?
I mean, I remember loving... I mean, obviously, I remember the restaurant. Really, really beautiful space. I remember street parking could be challenging, and we had to kind of walk a little. I think I dropped you guys off. We went with another couple, one of my favorite couples to go to dinner with, because they don't drink. So it's like the perfect designated. It was them, right?
Yeah, designated drivers. Yeah.
So a little bit of my theme recently has been the ridiculous fucking prices at these restaurants. And so I am certainly going to recommend and be much more favorable to a restaurant that doesn't want to rate me when the check comes. And this was one of them. I thought the restaurant was beautiful. I thought the service was nice. I thought that the chef came out and spent quite a bit of time with us. And that was nice.
The owner.
You know, some chefs need to learn that. That would be nice. Yeah, the food was excellent. I thought we didn't have a lot of it in terms of we usually overorder, especially when we go to a restaurant for the first time. But we went with this other couple, so trying to be mindful from a money perspective. So we probably should go back a lot more often than but we tend to do that, right? We tend to go somewhere, love it, and then
we've gotten better. We've gotten better at going back to the favorites, especially because you're whining about it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this was one of my favorites, but definitely the food was.
Well, it could become a favorite once we learn the menu, and we there's so much we didn't get to try.
I like the aniloti. That was my favorite. But everything we had was really nice.
Dessert, I think we had them all, or almost all. There was a chocolate mousse, a Basque cheesecake. That seems to be like a thing now. Everybody has a Basque cheesecake. But the star was their almond pear frangipane tarte. It's a delicate almond cake on the bottom, and then the pear sliced thin, and they make it into a rosette on top of the cake, and then they bathe it in an almond custard sauce. Just awesome. Yeah, I agree. Service was good.
Service was good. Price was great. It was under $400 with all in with tip, and gratuity and taxes. Everything in was less than $400. $380, which I thought was sensational. Nowadays, is as good as you can expect. And usually, I take my own bottle of wine. I don't remember what the corkage fee was. I wrote here $30, but I'm not sure because it's not on our list. But I must have just forgot to add it. Mm-hmm. But when we try a new restaurant for the first time, I like to go and order from the wine menu to sort of support the restaurant rather than right off the bat bring my own wine. And the Sam, or the gentleman in charge of the wine, I don't know if he was a Sam or not, but he was great. A lot of Italian wines on the menu, and we settled on a beautiful 2010 Barolo Buccia, which was retail is $98, and they only upped it to $170. Imagine that, just one time. What do you say? 100%, I guess, 100% markup. In a city where now markups for wine are 2, 3, and even 400% in certain places. I thought it was sensational. The bottle was $170, so out of the $380 that we spent on the restaurant, 170 of it came from wine. So I thought it was a home run, and I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I think a lot of the ones we are actually discussing today are going to be small gems with very, very few exceptions.
Not the next one.
Not the next one. The next one is...
The next one's not small, and it's not a gem.
It is small. It is a gem.
It's not small because it comes from big-time ownership.
Oh, okay, but it's...
And it ain't no gem.
It's a gem. You're not a fan?
God.
Okay. All right. So without further ado,
give the guy that we met, the owner of Mosaico, that price point, and let's see what he serves you. It's not a gem at that price point. The one that we're about to talk about.
Okay. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Le Jardinier.
Boo!
Wow, seriously?
Lower your prices, bro.
Oh my God. Located in the design. It has a Michelin star.
Oh, wow. That explains it. Double the prices because of the Michelin. Oh.
Located in the design district, the Jardiniere has 1 Michelin star. It is French with a vegetable-leaning menu. This one opened around the same time as L'Atelier de Joe Robuchon upstairs years ago, which is our only 2-star restaurant in Miami for now. The two connect via a beautiful winding staircase. The other important connection is that the same Robuchon chef now oversees both kitchens, upstairs and downstairs. That's Chef James Friedberg, episode 15. We interviewed him, so if you want to go back and listen to that one, you can. We had dined in several times before the star and always liked it, but never rushed back. Not for any reason in particular. We were just trying other places, I guess. The place is very small, but tastefully designed with a mid-century modern meets Art Deco feel. The palette there is mostly black and white with a signature fern green chairs and bar stools. They probably have only around 8 4-tops and a counter seating about 16 guests. They do have a large outside area as well, which is not seasoned now, but soon will become a great choice.
For like 2 weeks.
We finally made it in again and loved it. I thought you loved it when we went.
Yeah, I thought the food was really good, yeah.
The bread basket, just like upstairs, sinfully addicting. We didn't ask for more because we didn't want to get full on that. We ordered this is the only one you didn't love, the grass-fed beef tartare, only because you say, oh, everyone has that. I know you were underwhelmed by it, but I liked it. It comes with homemade potato chips with which to scoop. I enjoyed it. We loved the foie gras and pork mousse. It had a cocoa nib granola for added sweetness and crisp. Very nice. Then we had the corn ravioli that was so good. We took one bite and immediately ordered another.
Yeah, that was the best of the night for me.
Yes. Is that truth? Yes, admit it.
You paying attention there, Mr. Bourbon Steak? Bring back the corn ravioli.
Yeah, I know. His was equally spectacular. And then we ended with the Iberico pork, also delicious. Desserts, we had the key lime tart with a coconut sorbet and a pineapple compote. Not just gorgeous, plated with a sea turtle design on the bottom, but a really great balance on the sweet and tartness that we enjoyed. We also love the new Somm. They have a good team of Somms now. I wish I remembered his name. No chance you remember, right?
No.
No chance. He was happy to come by and have lengthy chats, geeking out about wine with us. And I thought it was a pretty perfect dinner. I know the price point.
Yeah, well, but that's the problem.
Okay, but it was a pretty perfect dinner at that price point. We've had many others at that price point that bombed.
Yes. This one certainly did not bomb. Le Jardiniere, we've gone. This is our 3rd time, I believe.
I think like 5th.
5th time? Well, 3rd time that I have it on my list. And it has consistently increasing prices by about $100 every time. So, that I guess that's the industry and the world we live in. But this last dinner was extremely expensive. They don't allow you to bring wine to the Robuchon / Jardiniere group, I guess. Now I think you said that on Mondays for a little.
For the summer,
right? Because conveniently for them, it's really slow. So as a result of that, they want people to come in. So
that's right. And we did Robuchon for my birthday.
And we did Robuchon for your birthday, and we brought wine. So
yes.
So that was Jardiniere, the Somm. I wanted to stay within reason price wise. He settled on a 2016 Rhone wine from Hermitage, the appellation there, and it was nice. It was nice. Bottle's about $60 retail, and they charge $245, so that's 4 times more than retail. Embarrassing. It is. It's an embarrassment, But whatever, I guess if you go to those kind of places, you have to kind of understand what you're going to pay. But again, very, very happy that some of these other restaurants are popping up, showing you great service, beautiful spaces at much more approachable and reasonable prices. I'm not running back to Le Jardiniere anytime soon. But what's really happening in South Florida with the pricing is that these restaurants have now become special location places. Where before, we were like, hey, you want to go here, you want to go there. and now you have to think really hard where you are going to go, just because of the insanity of the price points now. So they've become like, places for birthdays and celebrations or whatever, rather than just a boring Saturday. But yeah, that corn ravioli maybe we do what most people do in Florida now.
Yes.
Is they go to the bar, they sit there at the bar. I think we saw 3 different couples sit at the bar, eat, drink, and leave before we left.
Yeah, that always happens. That's very common for us.
So maybe we should do that. Maybe we should go to the bar, order a nice glass of champagne, order a corn ravioli and something else, and pay the check and call it a night.
And go to Taco Bell?
Yeah. Because you're going to be hungry.
I think actually the corn ravioli was probably like a summer, spring thing. I don't think it's going to be on there anymore.
Oh, come on.
I know. I have to check. But
yeah, the desserts were actually quite beautiful as well. They should get credit for that.
Okay. On to the next one. Let's talk about Tam Tam. Oh, Tam Tam. Okay. This one is a little puzzling to me. Did I fall for the hype that led me to go try it out? I sure did. I guess curiosity did kill the cat. I will summarize this one by saying that it was mostly okay, but it was also a lot of hype. And let me clarify. It's not a bad spot. It's a different restaurant, if in the area, but not one to go out of my way for. At least not for me. I don't know about you.
I agree.
Yeah, at all. And that's what happens sometimes when the hype overcomes you. And more importantly, it comes down to me just not craving or thinking of anything I had once I left, regardless of how I felt at that moment. Tam Tam started as a Vietnamese supper club, followed by a pop-up at 1-800-LUCKY, plus pop-ups around town, and then moved on to an actual permanent space, this one. It's located in downtown Miami, across the courthouse in a shady corner, with a questionable nearby parking spot, hosting equally questionable happenings that made me pick up the pace, get in the car, and exit quickly once I was done.
But to be fair, you're a chicken shit.
Oh, you felt really... Yeah, well, you were freaking probably
carrying... Well, you're in downtown Miami. I mean, but the place was packed, right? People came in and out. I mean...
Yeah, there's a reason there was an amount of Uber drop-offs we saw while dining, and nobody was driving and parking like we did.
No, maybe.
Well, you felt super brave walking back?
Yeah, but there's plenty of places like that in South Florida.
Okay, maybe. I think the difference is it's usually like, let's say Wynwood, it's like blocks in, right? If you go 2 more blocks, you're in danger. But this was literally like right next to the restaurant. But anyway, so the vibe was busy and buzzy. Every table full, people standing around, waiting for the much coveted tables. Yet another small restaurant. Maybe a dozen 2-tops and counter seats. The attitude is that, much like Walrus Rodeo, everything is meshed together casually, giving off that I don't care vibe, just come for the food. But in reality, they do care a lot. A lot of care and strategy has gone into this branding and the whole trying hard to not try hard look. Like, for example, their highly curated Instagram account. But I digress.
Yeah, it was pretty evident that they were trying too hard to pretend like they didn't care. That was quite funny.
Yeah. So we arrived on time and we were seated right away. Service was friendly and casual, with our waiter having a hand on our table, but then hustling to the next one. Seats are very close together, enough to eavesdrop every conversation and reach over if I wanted to. We tried the grouper crudo, which had a nice sauce, but it seemed to overwhelm the fish. I don't even remember what. Oh yeah, it was grouper, but it seemed to kill it because it was so overpowering. The lamb wrap situation, actual lamb wrapped like stuffed sausages, with flavorful and enjoyable. I didn't care for the I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, ban hoi oil noodles it came with. They were square and meant to perform as a little mat to top all the flavorful ingredients, but I just liked the texture, so I skipped it. I think you liked it. I think you said you liked it.
Yeah, more than the wings.
What?
Yeah, the wings were
overly stop it.
Sweet and whatever.
It comes... We'll get to the wings. It's okay. You can have your opinion. It comes deconstructed, so you have to put it together yourself for the lamb wrap. There's also large lettuce and assorted vegetables to play with. So I liked the lamb. It was okay. I liked the lamb and the peanut sauce, but I don't know. I was over the whole like putting everything together and didn't like those noodles. The pork belly clay pot, it was good. It was a more common dish we've had before. around town. Sticky rice with a fried egg, always enjoyable. And the pork belly brought a nice fatty texture to some of the bites. The highlight for me was absolutely the wings. Those I really enjoyed. They were perfectly sticky and saucy, but I do like that sweetness. You ate them. You ate them like happily.
Yeah, I was hungry.
The rest I could take or leave. And we also had 2 desserts on the menu. The 2 desserts they have on the menu are coconut s'mores mousse and a cheesecake. And those were just okay. I was curious about the frozen drinks. They have one including a Vietnamese coffee, but instead we chose a natural wine off the menu, an organic Grenache. I think it's from Spain. It paired well with the food, but
yeah, it's so this restaurant's not the Wet Palate's type of go-to restaurant because it's far.
But they're all far. Why would you say that?
It's far. Like it's downtown. Like to go to the courthouse area, it's an extra 10 minutes. And so when you do that, you want to go to a restaurant that that's a little more. I don't want to say welcoming. The restaurant is fine, but it's very casual. We don't travel for dinner at these very, very ultra casual restaurants.
But okay, we do like at a Boyardee, for example.
That Boyardee is not as casual. This place was like you got people like wearing shorts and slippers.
Same thing for Boyardee, I think.
I don't know. I didn't think it was all that. I think this restaurant, maybe its location, because literally across the street from the courthouse, maybe there's just not that much there. And
even if it was downstairs from Robuchon.
Yeah, maybe it was full because there's a lot of residences in that area, and unless you go to Biscayne, then yeah. Well, I don't think the hype matched the food or the service or the drinks or the shit wine. That it was a $16 bottle of wine that they sold me for $65. Anyways. But it was packed. Remember that lady eating outside? There was a lady just.
They have a
with that chairs like a
like a pole. I don't even know that's.
And they
safe.
build like a wood.
They put like a little tray wood attached to that pole, that light pole or whatever it is.
She was munching.
And she had her food and she was there by herself eating happily while all the Ubers were dropping people off. Overall, as I said, it was okay. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I do want it to succeed. We need more operations like these, like little ones to define and represent Miami over the import places showing up. And I realize I'm not necessarily making a case for them here, but I also can't just lie about it and follow the herd if I'm not feeling it, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like as a casual spot, if you go with that attitude.
Right, if you're in the area, though, then you're like, okay, sure. You're in the area. Am I going to go to Subway or am I going to go there? I'll go there. Yeah. But am I going to say, hey, you know where we could go Saturday night? Let's go to Tam Tam. Like, it's never happening.
Yeah, and listen, it's funny what we consider affordable. This was still $252.
Right.
For 2 people.
Yeah.
With a $65 bottle of wine. So it's casual, but that's not cheap anymore. Like, a lot of people will look at that and say $250 for 2 people is a lot of money. And so... True. Yeah, we don't want anyone to fail ever. So obviously,
my hope for them is that they remain busy.
They should. And they have a following,
and it will. But also that as the dust settles, maybe they fine tune the menu further. And as I said, if in the area, I will give them another go. The price, at least compared to most of Miami right now, it's approachable.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Next, Queen Omakase. Talk about going from one extreme to the other. We already reviewed the main restaurant, Queen, at Queen. You can check out episode 31 for that. This is what we're talking about today will be the Omakase experience. I was so excited when I heard that Chef Kamakura would be leading this. In case you don't know, Chef Kamakura was responsible for our initial obsession with Nosa in South Beach. He was the opening chef for it. Extremely talented. It is not a traditional experience. He draws from his Japanese, Brazilian background, so there's a lot of those flavors noted in his pieces. But he's a class act, and once we made it to the Omakase space, it was a perfect night. The counter for the Omakase sits 8. It is hidden upstairs behind one of the speakeasy VIP lounges, separated by a dark velvet curtain, of course, and with a porthole view to the downstairs dining room. Our big beef here, or at least mine, I don't know if you care or remember because I wasn't
as upset as you.
my big beef here has to do with the management at Queen, who almost ruined the experience. I was going to say for us, but okay, for me. I mean, you didn't care. Reservations are at 7. I guess you have to rewind. Knowing that on the main dining room when we dined there before, they're very strict, right? They demand punctuality. They limit table time. They talk about how you have to dress. And in turn, the omakase logistics were a complete joke. We were told to be there by 6:45 for a 7 o'clock reservation. We arrived around 6:20, right?
Yep.
We had cocktails, everything relaxed. And then 6:45 comes around and no one comes by. And then 7 o'clock, someone comes by and they start saying that they're waiting for another couple who's late. Not my problem, right? So
especially given that there is a seating after.
Right, there's 2
our
seatings.
seating,
right,
so
7 and 9:30.
The later they run, obviously it cuts into the time that you're going to be there.
Right. So then this manager, who seemed a little frazzled, but also didn't give 2 shits, I guess. I don't know. He didn't really seem genuinely like he cared. He just kept blaming this other couple who finally he said, oh, they're not coming. And again, I don't care, because I know if I'm late to Hidden or the Den or to any other of our omakases, they're just going to close the door on me and you can't go in, period. So how are they so punctual downstairs and then upstairs you keep your parties waiting?
Oh, but I was more pissed off about what came next.
So then he comes by.
That was unnecessary.
So then he says, so here I'm thinking, great. I'm used to, again, we do a lot of omakases. I'm used to, we sit, we look at the wine list, we order wine, we start getting everything ready. No, now we're going to go for a tour. So then he proceeds to take us around, and it ended up being just another party of 2, around the restaurant. And I appreciated some of the facts, like the historical facts, because I'm a geek when it comes to that, the architectural stuff. But then he started saying really gaudy things like, you see these 30 speakers, each one was $15,000. And you see this statue.
The peacock? What about the fucking peacock behind the glass?
The bulletproof glass?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
if you want to
if
you have jewels that you want to...
If you have jewels that you want to display, this is a bulletproof glass. And I'm thinking...
That cost us, I think he said like $200,000 to build a room.
Yes.
Like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't have jewels. I want to eat.
Right. Can you get me to the experience, please? Where's this hidden room that... So this went on and on. So just to tell you that we did not have our first bite until about 7:48, almost 8 o'clock. And it took them 20 minutes to get the wine that we ordered. So we were not halfway through the omakase, but we were already in a few bites of the omakase, and they still didn't have the wine. Why? Because they had to go get it downstairs. So the whole thing was just, and that when it came to that pissed me off. It took me like, I don't know how many glasses of wine to get over it. But the actual experience once we made it there was really, really great. I did speak to a manager on the way out. And you know how these people are. I don't know if she cared, she didn't care. I did say to her, I said, if I was a Michelin guide, if this was a Michelin guide review, I said, you would have been in trouble today. like how do you start that way? So I don't know. I don't know if she was into it or not. And I do hope, the chef said actually that we're not the first ones to go through this or complain. So let's see, because we're actually going back in a couple of, right?
Oh, you already booked it?
I haven't booked it yet, but we're supposed to go.
I guess we're not yet.
Well, we're supposed to go back in about a month for a special occasion. So let's see what happens. So that's it. So parking was valet. I don't remember the cost of valet.
That's it? Hold on a second.
Oh, you have stuff to say. Okay. So that's it for me.
Number one, the kid is a rock star.
Yes.
I
said he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's top notch. He's not a pretender. He knows his shit. You know, we were talking about other omakase chefs in this country and abroad, and he knew exactly what all the people we were referring to, he knew them. In fact, he actually worked for a few of them. This guy's the real deal. Number one. Number two, the space is really, really tight. That curtain is awfully close to your back, yes. You know, when you're sitting there. But I would say that if you want to get the full experience, you're probably better off going to the later seating.
Which is what we're hoping to do next time.
Yeah, because behind that curtain, there is like a VIP, typical Miami Beach bullshit, but there's a VIP lounge that I guess that is kind of like a terrace that overlooks the actual
Indoor.
Queen.
Indoor terrace.
Right. That overlooks the actual restaurant downstairs, which now we come to find out it was $1 billion to build, according to that guy with the speakers and all that. So sort of go for the late seating and then kind of transfer yourself to that lounge and maybe order some drinks and make a real late night out of it.
Right. So so that lounge, just to be specific, no one has access to that unless you're invited or unless you're part of the omakase experience.
Right.
So being one of the 8 on that counter grants you access to that. So since you're there, I guess all they do is pull the curtain back when you're done and you spill onto
right.
that
So hopefully
lounge.
Messi will be there when we're there.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Food was the food itself was really, really good. Really, really good pieces of omakase.
Yes.
His cuts,
Which is the only reason we're considering going back.
His cuts were flawless. He knows. This guy knows. This guy really knows, and he's worth it. And the ingredients are top notch. And wine, typical, Miami Beach, whatever. Right?
Do we know if there's? No, you were not allowed to bring.
You're not allowed to bring. Okay. The total bill, tax all in, was $832. 264 of that was wine. There was almost a 300% increase over retail on the wine, which in Miami Beach is highly expected. So again, not a cheap night.
This was summer pricing for the omakase.
Oh yeah, it's over. I forgot that the guy told us that right now the omakase is actually less because we're in the slow season here in South Florida. So if you're gonna go now and save yourself some money, I guess. But we are gonna do a staycation in Miami Beach soon. Stay a few nights, and the group wants to try it. So we'll be going
we're
back.
A party of 6, so we will be taking over that counter. I feel sorry for the other
Hopefully
two.
we don't have to do the tour again. But although one of our couples might enjoy it.
I told the manager, that was the other thing. I said, what if, in my whole rant, I said, what if I come back? Do I have to do that tour again? I lost my mind. I could not. I was so mad. But okay, so parking, valet. I don't remember how much the valet part was. Do you?
It's a hot mess because it's on Washington.
Right.
It really is messy.
But it's right off Fifth, so it's not too in.
You should Uber if you can. There's not enough space in front of the restaurant for the valet to be able to do their job. It's really, really messy.
Messy.
I think it was $30. I think it was. I mean, at that point, in South Beach, you just pay. But if you can Uber, I would highly recommend that you Uber there. Yeah. You will not find street parking.
Yeah, right? Good luck with that. And don't make the mistake we did. We went, the first time we went to Queen Omakase during, what was it, like Memorial Weekend?
Yeah.
By mistake.
That was your mistake, not mine.
I know, but I booked it so far before and I didn't realize. Anyway, yes. So we do love it, but just know that they might not be on time. So it's going to be a good test when we go back in September and see what happens. On to the next one. Let's talk about Mame. Mame is one of the other restaurants by Chef Niven Patel. It's also at the Thesis Hotel opposite Orno, which we love and reviewed on episode 6 a while back. Here, Chef Chris is a chef de cuisine, and he comes from Stubborn Seed, so he's got skills. This one has more of a jungle feel to the decor, still elegant, but a vibrant vibe. We were a party of 4. Oh, same couple that we went to Mosaico with. And this time we ordered well. Not half the menu, but almost. The standout for me was the Bahamian conch fritter with a cilantro aioli. Actually, the best I've ever had outside of the Bahamas. And just talking about it here triggers the memory of it. So, so good. We also had the fresh grouper dip. That was the special of the night. It was outstanding. Had chunks of the grouper. We basically inhaled that one. I don't recall what the crisps were accompanying it, but they were excellent too. We had the yellowfin tuna tostones. I think we should have had this one before because although it was good, it paled in flavor to everything else. The other ones were all flavor bombs. The local honey lamb ribs. The iconic white truffle and brie grilled cheese, as glorious as it sounds, and it's served with fresh mango jam and a Sullivan Street bread. And if you know anything about Chef Patel, you know that most of the produce and fruits he uses come directly from his farm, aka his home. And the mango was as fresh as could be. Even you loved it, and you don't even like mango. The duck fried rice, that was insane. And see, this is what I mean when I talk about dishes that you remember and you want to run back for. just talking about that duck fried rice, oof, it was pure insanity. Just perfect, and it was topped with a duck egg, and it was perfectly sticky, the rice. A Mishima Ranch churrasco with fried yuca, and a red pepper chimichurri. A little Vietnamese Caesar salad that made a big impression. Instead of anchovies, they use a fish sauce in the dressing, and then they drown the salad in a shredded parm. Never too much cheese, right? And then we had all three of the desserts: a Jamaican rum cake, the Florida mango custard, and chocolate mousse bar. I think the rum cake, hands down, was the favorite by everyone. But all were good.
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 This restaurant, for me, was a home run. I would go there every Saturday between that one and Maddie's and be happy.
Maddie's. Woo!
You see, this is, again, this guy understands customers. This is a restaurant that for $100 a person, max, we didn't even spend that. You go, you eat, you have a great time in a beautiful setting. Easy parking. I think
it's valet or street.
Yeah, but street. There's always street, and I think the valet this time, the couple we went to, they wanted to valet. I think it was $15 with tip. It was $10 plus $5 tip. I love his food. I love his flavors. I thought that Mame had a bit more kick, so to speak, than Orno's menu, which maybe that's why I liked it more. I would go here as often as you'd want to. Again, just everything came together. The vibe, the music, the ease of getting there, the food, of course, number one, always.
Maybe that one for that upcoming event you have.
Orno has that private room. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to send them. So I'm in. I thought now the only negative here is that when we got there, they wanted to sit us outside.
Oh right. How could I forget?
guess there was no.
There's no way to specify.
Yeah. So when my wife complained because she does not sit outside almost ever, and then of course,
do you know how long it takes me to blow dry this hair?
Yeah, I do, because I'm waiting for you every single time.
Shut up.
So there's really no way to specify that. So, of course, we said, no way. And then the lady's like, well, then you may have to wait 30 minutes. That pissed me off. So I ran to Orno and got a table. And just when I was texting the wife to tell her that we got a table at Orno, because you don't want to leave the building, right? I mean, Orno is great. So might as well. I guess they found a table for us. So, and I'm glad they did, because I really, really like this one a lot.
And I had been there. I had been there for lunch before, but never for dinner. So this was our first time. Service was really good. Our waiter made great suggestions. Corkage. I think we took wine.
Yeah, I didn't write it down, but it's the same as Orno. So I think it's $30. Somewhere between $25 and $35. So very reasonable.
You can check out my South Florida Corkage fees page, which we should be referring to right now instead. And that I try to update weekly with all the prices. So, yeah, this is a home run, right?
Yep, let's go this weekend. Oh, you're not here.
Oh, nope, sorry. I will be off eating conch fritters. Let's talk about Lamar. I've mentioned it before, but I think Lamar is at its current best version that it has ever been. Chef Diego Oca, who has been there since the beginning, I think almost 10 years ago. It's still there. It has also been on my top restaurants list every year. It is located on Brickell Key, inside the Mandarin Oriental. If you aren't familiar with what's going on there, the Mandarin will be coming down. So sad about that. And they will be building a brand new residential tower and a new Mandarin hotel. Obviously, both will have restaurants on premises, but nothing has yet been said if Lamar will reopen again there. The original Lamar is in Peru, so if you're going to go to Lamar, go now. The Miami skyline view. This one is probably my favorite in all of South Florida, but the restaurant is more than that. The food, upscale Nikkei, Japanese Peruvian, is excellent. This last time we tried one of the first versions of the new tasting menu, which included a bunch of my favorite bites and introduced some new ones. We tried the tallarines verdes, the pulpo al olivo, served with the galletas de sal, like Cuban style. So I was familiar with those. Hamachi belly, the ceviche shifa with trout, tiradito laqueado, conchas a la parmesana, so good. The ají de gallina empanadas, and what they call the picante de maní. It's basically a deconstructed pork belly, and it's served with about 10 sides and condiments, combination of all of them. their rice, I love, with choclo, red onions, and then it's a make your own tacos type of thing. Now the pork belly is obviously the star here. It has the crispiest top layer. It's like a chicharron. And you have to really make space for this one because it is filling. It's also available a la carte. It doesn't have to be just on the tasting menu.
I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore about Lamar. We've gone there probably at least 10 times over the years. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 times, it's always been good. It's always been great, really. But the last 2 times, just sensational meals. They have some really new items that Brent talked about, and I thought it's just a great menu. Right now, they're going, like you said, they're going through their best life. The best life, yeah. And Diego is, that's interesting. He's always there. Hardly, unless he's actually traveling, which he's right. He's very active on social media. So if he's traveling, you probably know about it. He's a hardworking dude, man. He is always there, and it's great to see.
Always with a smile
and always cooking.
So genuine, right?
So yeah, he's. I always enjoy when he makes the time to come and say hi. He knew we were going to Peru this last time, and of course that's his country. So he made time to come out and talk to us for about 5 minutes. Of course, he's extremely busy, but gave us about 5 minutes and maybe more.
Yeah, probably more.
And really gave us some really good info and got us excited about going to Peru. And just a great guy to support, easy to support, just because the food has been so great the last few times. Yeah.
And for dessert, they had a new mango one, but my forever love there is their chocolate cake, which is a Peruvian dark chocolate cake with ganache, dulce de leche, and strawberry. Also a must-do, which we haven't actually done in a while, is their brunch. The perfect season for it is coming up. Like Larry said, 2 weeks of winter. No eggs or pancakes in sight. It's basically their menu, available as a buffet, but made in small batches at a time, so it's very, very fresh. There's a hot section and a cold section. Always fresh. And dessert is a surprise. I won't ruin what it looks like or what it is, but you must try it.
Yeah, Lamar also has a really pretty nice wine list. I usually take wine there, and it's a $65 corkage fee, so certainly not one of the cheapest. So you can certainly order off the menu, but I enjoy taking some really nice wine. If you're going to pay that kind of corkage, you want to take a really nice bottle. And over the years, I've taken some great wines because their wine service is pretty good. It's really gone well every single time that they've opened our wines. So I look forward to going back soon, right?
Yes. Yes, let's do it. We love you, Lamar. Up next, 2 more. Can we do it? Can we do this? Phew. Yes, we can. Casa Mariano.
Woo!
This one has been one of our
hub's favorite.
Oh man,
one
of
his favorites.
Loves this place. This has been one of our family favorites most of the year. This year I've run how many times? 6 times. Okay, and we're just now getting to talk about it. Casa Mariano is located in Doral, in a shopping center next to a medical equipment offices.
right off the Palmetto, so it's not like West Doral. Just get off the Palmetto on 25th and
not that there's anything wrong with Doral.
2 lights later, you're there.
I love the interiors. It is a Spanish Mediterranean type of feel. Lots of natural textures, navy blues and whites. It is small. I think, this continues to be the episode of small spaces with few exceptions. Service is always warm and welcoming. We have been so much. A lot of the staff already knows our son. I don't think there has ever been a bad dish.
Hell no.
We've had, right?
Hell no.
So these are the things that we have ordered the most. The lamb croquetas, short rib empanadas, the goat cheese stuffed dates with bacon and chorizo. Your dad loves the sweetbread taquitos with sweet corn and a jalapeno salad. The pappardelle a la bolognese with Wagyu beef, veal, and pork, and an almond bechamel sauce. The black ink seafood risotto. You've only ordered that every single time?
That is a hub's favorite.
The hub's favorite dish. The blackened salmon with a sweet corn risotto. The duck socarat is one of my favorites. The duck comes 2 ways, with a beautiful rice underneath, like a paella style rice.
Our son's favorite, the churrasco.
With extra French fries.
That's right.
And the short rib con malta is the one I had last time, which I loved. Dessert, we've had plenty, and they have all been good, but lately we cannot get enough of their balcarce. It's probably the best we've had in Miami, too.
Probably.
Okay, hands down. It is basically dulce de leche, merengue, and condensed milk. Any questions?
I don't even love merengue. This dessert is... Last time we went, we took one to go.
We did.
And we had it the next night. I had the blackened salmon with a sweet corn risotto the last time because my dad, asshole, ordered the black in seafood. Ordered my risotto, the black ink one. So
and you said you were going to share, and he downed.
Ate the whole freaking thing.
I told you he was going to eat the whole thing.
So I settled, instead of ordering the same dish, I settled for the salmon. And the corn risotto was very, very nice. Yes. Sweet, as you can expect with the corn.
Sweet corn.
But yeah, salmon is salmon. So that's the one I probably would not, unless you really like salmon, that's probably not a very... it's not a dish a must have from everything we've had.
Yeah, you're never not getting the other one again now.
Oh no, the black ink seafood risotto and the balcarce dessert and the lamb croquetas at the beginning.
And their coffee's really good too.
Yeah,
yes.
No, this place has it, man. This place. It was funny. We went to a wine tasting at a pretty popular spot there, and this couple. This particular wine tasting was kind of funny because everybody was trying to show off except for the Whet palette, who no one knew who she was, but everybody's like, "Oh, I go there."
Yeah, but when people do that, what do I do?
Yeah,
I stay quiet.
Just stay quiet.
I stay quiet. I'm not gonna compete and be like,
"Well,
you know where I've been."
Somebody said, "Oh, Casa Mariana," and I was like, "Oh, I never heard of it." And they're like, they basically made fun of me. Like, how do you think you go dining in Florida and not go there? And I was like, "All right, settle down there, Chachi." But I'm glad they said it. I'm glad I went. Another great price point. This restaurant is another one that you're paying less than $100 per person, including dessert. The wine list is good, extensive, couple pages, not bad. They have some whales. They have some really high-end French, but those are really highly marked. So the last few times I've taken my wine, it's a $35 corkage fee. Very heavy Italian wines on the list, so I like my French, so I'll take they only have like 5 French wines in the entire menu. So great spot, highly recommend. Free parking right in front of the restaurant.
Yes, easy.
You won't regret it.
So the menu is a little bit all over the place, but they execute it nicely. It's a friendly vibe, a place where the staff is familiar with diners because of the many repeat visits. And as you've heard, there's many reasons why. It's approachable and not outrageously priced. So it's definitely a favorite, one of our favorites.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Great month this month with Mame and finding like good spots at reasonable price points. This was a good month for us.
The last couple, this episode is the whole last 3 months. So we spread them out a little bit. There you go. Good 3 months. On to the next one. Last one. The last one. Up next and last to close out everything is La Cosecha. This one we just went to last night. It's a nice hidden gem in Medley. Let me say that again. Medley. Self-parking on premises. So we ran into this one by mistake one day. We looked at it I think Uber took us, a wrong way or something. And I was like, what is that? Looked it up. Meant to try it. Finally made it in. We went yesterday. We met Chef Rosana, una Argentina, who has been at this same spot for 12 years.
She's so adorable.
That surprised me. We then realized she never offered dinner service until COVID hit. So for all those other years, she served nearby. It was a nearby lunch crowd, which is why we didn't know it, because it wasn't open for dinner. But honestly, it felt like we were dining at her house, right? Like Rosana's house. Service was beyond friendly and welcoming. Dinner started with fresh baked bread with our garbanzo topping thing mix that they gave us. We, of course, had the chorizo, an order of morcilla with polenta. Polenta was so good. I didn't try the morcilla. The morcilla. Che, ¿te gustó la morcilla?
It was good.
It was good? Yeah. And then we added the octopus. And then we had a damn good provoleta.
Best provoleta in town.
Best provoleta in town.
Other than when my dad makes it.
Aww. For entrees, we had a couple of entrañas con cuero. Do you want to explain what that is?
A couple things with the food. Number one, the morcilla with the polenta.
What kind of Argentinian are you? The morcilla.
Very, very small. So 2 little pieces.
Oh yeah.
Very miniature type morcilla, which is fine. I'm just saying if you're a big party, you may want to get 2 of them. Like the polenta was really, really good. The octopus may have been the largest octopus I've ever been served. Right, it was thick.
Yes.
Very well plated. I thought it was. I think I'm running out of favor with octopus. I don't know. I don't know if we just haven't had. This wasn't a charred one either. No. Again. Yeah. And I think that's what we like.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. No.
But I just don't. So the provoleta, the reason why it was the best I've had in South Florida.
Is it baked? Do you think that's baked?
I don't know what it is, but the problem with provoleta in South Florida is that it's runny. Everywhere you go, it's runny.
They don't let it set.
And provoleta needs to correct. Provoleta needs to be thick. It's kind of like a faina, like a thick.
Like it's melted cheese.
But it's not melted, right? It melts and then you got to let it harden.
Let it
and
set.
Maybe that's what they did right.
They just do it.
Maybe they pre-make it and then they just kind of bake it. I don't know what it is. It was served with some beautiful fresh tomatoes on top. Mm-hmm. I thought it was. I mean, I wanted another one.
We should have gotten another one for
sure. So the entraña is a very popular cut of meat that we all get at the supermarkets and at the restaurants. It's a very, very flavor type of steak that I happen to find extremely approachable because it's soft, right? It's not chewy. It's just a beautiful cut of meat in my opinion. And in Argentina, when I was growing up, they give it to you with the cuero, which is with the skin. In the United States, for the most part, they remove the skin. The skin comes only on one side. And so here, instead of removing it, they somehow crisp it. Like they're able to somehow make it crispier than the meat itself.
It's very thin.
And I grew up with that. I mean, in Argentina,
normal,
they don't remove it, right? So
it's fine.
it was so the menu. They have the larger cuts of meat to share with more than one person, and then they have like kind of like the single servings if you're one person and you just want a specific cut of meat. This one was an $89 skirt steak entraña, which was they said it was. She said it was only good for like about 2 people, 2.5. So we ordered 2 of them. It really is good enough for 3 people, almost even 4 if you were to get some more sides. So we took a bit of it home. Well, they did.
They did, yeah.
But excellent chef. We ordered 1 medium because the couple we were with, they were like a medium. We ordered ours medium rare. Can't tell you how many times I order meat medium rare and it comes rare. In the United States, I don't know what it is about South Florida. This was perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very enjoyable. And it came with a basket of French fries with a couple fried eggs on top, and it was just equally as excellent. It went really well. Obviously, it went really well with the meat.
And we just happened to choose a great night because Inter Miami was playing, and there was just something about Messi on TV.
Oh, it was the finals.
Yeah, but Messi is on TV. We dined at Argentinian food. He scored. Everyone erupted, cheering. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
What a beautiful night. But it was really more than that. It was such a great little spot. We really fell in love with it.
Well, always happy to support someone like this lady, Rosana. It's just when you find somebody that you could tell, she built this thing from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's not a conglomerate. It's not, she doesn't own. She even said that they offered her to open a few other restaurants, and she kind of just like, you know what? I don't do this all for the money. I'm happy here. I like my customers.
Yeah. Well, they are moving too. Hialeah, woo woo.
But it's still going to be the one restaurant. So.
Right. So there's a new complex, a new center area called Pura Vida, which they have residences, and I don't know if that's going to be a good move because I'm sure it's going to be expensive to like the rent or whatever, but the lease. But anyway, that whole Pura Vida complex it's residential, and then they're going to have businesses. So she's moving there. It's just like minutes away. But okay, so for dessert, we had their panqueque, the dulce de leche, which is different. It's almost like a crepe. And it's neatly folded into a hexagon with a hearty helping of dulce de leche inside versus just the regular panqueques, which is flattened out as usual, which is also great. But their signature dessert is a dulce de leche bread pudding. also topped with rich and decadent dulce de leche as well as inside. Let's just say it's a good thing you and I are doing a juice detox today in the next 3 days. Because that was a good Bon Voyage meal.
That was excellent. $25 corkage fee. Their wine list was not online, so I decided to take wine, and it's a good thing I did.
Yeah.
One thing that this restaurant is lacking is a wine list. It was literally like, I want to say like all Argentinian wines, and they had like 4, maybe 5 red wines. If you know me, there's very few bottles of Argentinian wine that I mean, I'll try anything, but, I'm glad I took, for $25 corkage, and we had some good wine service. Our waitress was great. She was actually more than great. She was great. Sensational.
She didn't see us when we left, and she ran out to the parking lot to say goodbye.
Yeah, Maria Jose, because her name on the thing said Majo. And I'm like, what is that? And she goes, Maria Jose.
Oh, yeah.
So extremely, extremely happy that we went.
Oh man, how are we gonna choose if we go here or Casa Mariano next? With
2 different menus. One is very. You don't go to this one without getting a steak. Even though they did have some pastas that I want to try. And Casa Mariano, they have a steak too, but you don't go there for that.
Oh, but actually Casa Mariano steak is also very good.
Yeah, but that's for our son, and I get a little piece of it. So.
Okay, all right. Thank you, honey. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in, and please share on your socials, spread the word. Thank you for joining me. What's next in dining for us?
I don't know. Hopefully a lot more Mame and a lot more Casa Mariano, and
I still have to take you on that Hialeah tour.
And a lot less Jardinier type places.
Honey, balance is the spice of life.
Yeah, okay. No comment. I don't know. I do now that we did this. I really think we should go back to that Mosaico.
Mosaico, yeah. We need
I think we probably should.
Yeah. Let's do it next. I want to come back from the trip.
That's right. Maybe I'll go without you while you're gone.
Rude. All right, y'all. Until next time. Ciao.
Bye.